Some huge game-changing call-ups could be happening soon, so we'll get all the theories with those WWE superstars. We'll also check out a quick injury update for Becky Lynch and more. Let's start things off with this quick injury update for Becky Lynch. Becky went down with a separated shoulder during her match with Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. The injury came at the worst possible time because Becky's character was right in the middle of a babyface transition. After Bianca Belair defeated Becky Lynch cleanly once again, Becky's heel attitude completely changed, and she's now respected Bianca Belair. They also gave us the full circle moment of having Bianca and Becky actually exchange a handshake. That moment was pretty deep because their entire feud all started with a cheap shot during a handshake. So to circle back to that moment 1 year later and have them actually exchanging the handshake was a great moment. That handshake also signified the exact moment of Becky's babyface turn. Then, when Bayley and Damage Control came out, Becky stood by Bianca's side to back her up, once again reinforcing the fact that Becky was no longer heel. Becky Lynch even changed her social media display name back to the Man, so it was clear that she was returning to the classic babyface persona. It was even reported that turning Becky Lynch babyface was a Triple H idea. The unfortunate part about Becky's transition was, of course, the fact that she separated her shoulder at SummerSlam, so she was written off a few days later on Raw. So we didn't get that much of anything from the newly turned babyface version of Becky Lynch. A timetable for Becky's return was never given, but according to several medical studies, separated shoulders without surgery can fully heal from 2 weeks to 12 weeks. And Becky is already entering week 5 at this current moment in time. Becky Lynch was recently speaking with The Rock on Instagram Live, and he asked about how the injury recovery was going. Becky had this to say, quote, "When it happened, it was so painful that I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be out for a long time. But now it's healing up real quick. I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling good, so I'm hoping it won't be much time at all," end quote. So that's great news from Becky herself. She was worried that it was something tragically serious, but she said she's already getting mobility back in her shoulder and doesn't expect to miss as much time as she originally thought. So best case scenario, maybe another month or 2 months before Becky could be getting close to 100% again. With Becky turning babyface, she obviously is done coming after Bianca Belair. Becky will likely turn her focus to Bayley and Damage Control for what they did to her. Bayley and the rest of Control beat Becky down backstage on Raw after she was already in an arm brace for that shoulder. So it looks like Bayley will be Becky Lynch's first target when she eventually returns from this shoulder injury. The WWE draft may be in a complete limbo state right now, but according to reports, 2 big NXT superstars are getting called up real soon. So let's take a look at those 2 names, starting off with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa was the younger brother of the Usos, so he has an extremely close connection to the bloodline. But like the name Solo suggests, he didn't want to just come into the WWE simply being known as Jimmy and Jay's little brother. He wanted to make a name for himself on his own, and that's exactly what he did. Solo Sikoa has spent the last few months proving himself on NXT and showing everyone that he belongs here just as much as his other family members. Solo has stated in several interviews that WWE Creative originally wanted to instantly pair him up with the Bloodline on SmackDown and skip NXT. But it was eventually decided that he should go to NXT first and display what he has to offer, and that's exactly what he did. Now it's being reported that Solo Sikoa is next up to be getting a main roster call-up in the near future. So what will Solo Sikoa be doing on the main roster? Well, everyone's biggest guess is that he'll obviously be connected with the Bloodline in some fashion. And there's 2 big fan theories out there for how Solo could potentially be introduced. The first idea includes the Usos and Sami Zayn's ongoing back and forth feud. The Usos appeared to like Sami Zayn at first when Sami was looking to join the Bloodline. The Usos seemed like they got a kick out of it, and they used Sami Zayn for several different things. But in recent weeks, the Usos, especially Jay, just appear to be so hostile and frustrated with Sami Zayn. So could it get to the point where the Usos really don't want Sami Zayn hanging around anymore? So they get fully rid of Sami and bring in their brother, Solo Sikoa, to take care of that role Sami was in for the Bloodline. The other fan theory is that Solo Sikoa is going to make his debut by saving Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle. There's so many rumors that the Usos may be unable to cross the border again and be at Clash. So what if the Usos, or maybe even Roman himself, reach out to Solo Sikoa for him to be at Clash for Roman as reinforcement and to save the day if needed? It'll be completely unexpected. Drew McIntyre and even the fans would think that Roman was legitimately by himself, with no Paul Heyman or no Usos at ringside. But out comes Solo Sikoa to make his debut and have an instant impact by saving Roman's title reign. Saving the Universal title will definitely get Solo Sikoa some big points in Roman's book right off the bat. That'll be a big stage to debut Solo Sikoa at, and then from there, he can become a full-time member and potential hitman for the Bloodline. And like everyone has been saying, Solo would generate a bit of new spark and freshen things up with the Bloodline. The other call-up happening real soon is reportedly Indi Hartwell. And her debut is very interesting because it could directly be connected with Dexter Lumis' story, especially after the reunion we just saw between Dexter and Indi on NXT. So the fact that Indi is on the way to the main roster has everyone wondering if this means she'll instantly get involved with the Dexter Lumis situation. Maybe with Indi Hartwell now being on the main roster, this will make life a bit easier for Dexter Lumis. He wouldn't have to stress that much about finding ways to sneak into the buildings, and could potentially use Indi to help him get to wherever he wants to get to. Of course, Indi would have to be helping Dexter very quietly, because if word gets out there that she's helping this massive trespasser and individual that's taking superstars captive, she'll be on the outside looking in with Dexter pretty fast. So if they're gonna go with that narrative of Indi secretly helping Dexter behind the scenes, then she's gonna have to be very careful not to get caught and stay off the radar. Maybe that goes on for a while until she eventually gets caught and fully joins Dexter. It was just really interesting that we saw Dexter and Indi reunite and say goodbye in NXT. And now reports claim that she's coming to the main roster. Just feels like she has to be included in this story somehow with that NFT cliffhanger for the couple. Especially if Indi comes to Raw. If she's on Raw, then it's only a matter of time before she bumps into Dexter. So Solo and Indi are the two big call-ups that are reportedly on the way, and could have instant impacts on some big storylines on the main roster. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Becky Lynch, Solo Sikoa, and Indi Hartwell? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.